You know what's most frustrating? Children think we're not the same anymore, but we've simply become different, and this is our superpower, not a weakness. This episode will show you 6 changes that will transform your old age into the most energetic period of your life. Imagine, at 80, your body quietly downloads a new operating system. 6 major updates install automatically, with no option to click cancel. 4 of them will surprise you, the 5th will destroy your fear of aging, and the 6th will teach you to protect your new habits from family pressure and your own inner sabotage. All our information is based on research, with links you can find in the description. Here's the roadmap for these changes. Energy and sleep restart. Social circle reformatting. Radical shift in time perception. Memory recompilation into wisdom. Explosion of authentic freedom. Working with resistance. Negotiating with loved ones and yourself. Write your age in the comments or listening for a loved one. This helps us create more targeted content for your needs. Change. Number 1. Energy and sleep restart. What happens? Your internal alarm clock shifts about 2 hours earlier. It's natural for an 80-year-old to want to sleep around 9 p.m. and wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. According to University of Florida research, 2025, deep sleep in people over 80 drops to about 13%, compared to 20% in 30-year-olds. Total sleep duration remains 7 to 9 hours. Energy peaks occur in the morning and early afternoon. After 2 p.m. comes a sharp energy crash. The main mistake is trying to live on a 60-year-old schedule, going to bed at 11 and catching up on missed sleep during the day. The result, feeling like your body is falling apart. In reality, your body has switched to an optimized short cycle plus early start mode. 3 adaptation steps. Step 1. Energy tracker 7.1. For 1 week, every 2 hours mark a plus if you're alert, or minus if drowsiness is increasing. On day 8, you'll have a personal map of peaks and valleys instead of guessing why I have no energy. Step 2, task repackaging. Schedule everything complex requiring concentration or communication during double plus windows. Move routine tasks, walks, and light stretching to valley periods. After 2 weeks, most people report a 20–30% productivity increase without additional caffeine. Step 3. Evening ritual. 30 lux. 1 hour before sleep. Dim lighting to soft nightlight level. Remove screens. Play calm audio background. Sleep onset usually reduces to 15 minutes. Nighttime awakenings decrease. Normal or time to check? Waking up 1 to 3 times per night is natural. But if you wake up 5 or more times, and during the day you literally fall asleep sitting, check for obstructive sleep apnea syndrome. Its prevalence in people over 60 reaches 80%, and it's much easier to treat than commonly thought. The next update concerns not biology, but the people around you. Subscribe to not miss more useful content. Part 2. Social circle reformatting. While your body learns to go to bed earlier and wake up with dawn, the next update concerns the people around you. By 80, your social network narrows by almost 1/3 compared to 70. This isn't a sign of isolation, but a result of your brain stopping waste of energy on random contacts and seeking quick emotional returns. Scientists call this socio-emotional selectivity. The older we become, the more carefully we select who we talk to and what about. According to University of Southern California data, the density of close relationships in 75-year-olds is higher than in 55-year-olds, and this is most strongly linked to feelings of happiness. Volunteering additionally strengthens this effect. Regular help to others reduces depression risk by almost half and even slows biological aging. How to turn circle, narrowing into personal capital. First step, social audit. For 7 days straight, Each evening recall all meetings and calls, and honestly note where you felt an energy surge versus fatigue. By week's end, you'll see which connections feed you and which drain you. Second step, 3x3 rule. Choose 3 main people or groups and create 3 regular connection formats. Walk, video call, joint project. Even if other contacts fade, you'll have a stable dose of warm communication. Third step, targeted volunteering. Look for roles where specifically your experience matters. Online tutoring, local history club, library lectures. Research shows such participation protects against loneliness more powerfully than any pills. Fourth step, depth over breadth. Consciously refuse checkbox events and invest freed time in deep conversations, joint learning, or creativity. Connection quality grows while fatigue noticeably drops. Fifth step, digital bridges. Master one convenient channel, like WhatsApp or specialized 60+ groups. Set digital office hours when you respond to all messages. This maintains weak ties without extra stress and prevents sudden disconnection from the world. 3 myths to forget. Myth 1. If my circle narrows, I'm lonely. Actually, dense, not numerous connections provide psychological protection. Myth 2. New acquaintances aren't interested in my age limitations. In themed clubs, they value experience and ideas, not walking speed. Myth 3. Online contacts are useless after 80. A 2025 meta-analysis showed social networks boost mood in elderly whose offline meetings are limited. Mini self-test, social battery. Each evening ask yourself, who did I say yes to today only out of politeness? If over 3 days you accumulate 2 or more such yeses, revisit your 3x3 rule and cut the excess. Working with resistance, transition to point 6. If relatives don't understand why you refuse large family gatherings, explain. Concentrated communication reduces fatigue and makes you kinder to those who truly matter. If an inner voice says, I'm selfish, remind yourself your emotional energy is limited. Its smart distribution makes you more attentive to both yourself and loved ones. Next, you'll learn how time perception changes after 80 and why the ability to say no suddenly becomes the main source of freedom. Part 3. Radical shift in time perception. With the transition to a new daily rhythm and social circle reboot, the third update module launches, time recalibration. After 80, the familiar important urgent ratio breaks. What once seemed pressing loses weight, while what brings deep satisfaction suddenly moves to the forefront. Psychologists call this phenomenon temporal perspective shift. It happens to everyone, regardless of health or social status. How the new time code manifests. Days subjectively become shorter because the body has less physical endurance. An almost instinctive desire appears to refuse propriety tasks. Fear of missing something important disappears, replaced by joy that you can choose what to invest hours and energy in. Increased inclination toward contemplation and here and now actions. Garden, music, one-on-one conversation. This restructuring doesn't mean time is scarce. It means for the first time in many decades, you clearly feel its real value and don't want to waste it. 6 techniques to put time at your service. 1. One-day time audit. Once monthly, record everything you do from wake-up to bedtime. Evening mark. Gives energy or takes energy. Such a journal immediately shows which activities to reduce or eliminate entirely. 2. 5 no's rule. Say no to 5 requests you would have agreed to do a year ago out of duty. Observe what happens. Usually it turns out the world doesn't collapse and inner space expands. 3. Important hour. Daily book 1, untouchable hour for activity that feeds you emotionally. Reading, gratitude practice, or drawing. This hour becomes an anchor of stability. 4. More meaning. Technique. Before confirming any meeting or project, ask yourself, will this add meaning to my life or another person's life? If the answer isn't obvious, boldly refuse. 5. 3 postponed steps. Make a list of 3 things you've postponed for later for years. The perspective shift gives the perfect moment to complete them. Write family history, organize photo archive, learn a new musical instrument. 6. Conversations without timer plan. At least 1 conversation weekly without strict time limits. This trains the ability to deepen dialogue and returns pleasure from unhurried communication, absolutely necessary at this age. 3 common misconceptions. I'm losing my edge if I don't chase deadlines anymore. Actually, artificial pressure disappears while strategic thinking becomes more precise. Saying no is selfish. Refusing excess frees energy for what's truly important to both you and others. Now it's too late to start something new. Temporal perspective shift gives exactly the freedom that was missing before to do truly your own thing. Mini self-test, hours of intention. Before sleep, ask, to how many of today's events did I say yes with joy, not out of habit? If joyful yeses are less than half, revise your schedule using the 5 no's rule. Working with resistance, first steps. If family demands you be like before, explain, your new rhythm allows energy conservation for meetings that truly matter. Suggest a specific format, for example, short lunch at 1 p.m. instead of long late evening. Inner guilt? Remind yourself that conscious choice of your own priorities makes you more present and attentive in moments when you do say yes. Ahead. Memory changes. Why short-term memory slowdown opens the door to phenomenal ability to see hidden patterns and make the wisest decisions. Part 4. Memory recompilation into wisdom. We've already mastered early rising, rebooted our social circle, and learned to say no to excess tasks. The next update, brain recompilation. After 80, short-term working memory indeed slows. Names, door codes, new words can slip away. But simultaneously, the ability to see hidden patterns and make accurate decisions increases. Scientists explain this by the fact that with age, fluid intelligence decreases. Speed of processing new information, but crystallized intelligence, that is experience plus knowledge, remains stable or even grows. By 80, processing speed may drop 40 to 60%, but the knowledge base remains accessible, which is why elderly people better solve problems requiring life logic than tasks for memorizing random numbers. How to turn gaps into new cognitive strengths. 1. External memory buffer. Keep handy a notepad or phone notes for everything not worth storing in your head. Addresses, to-do lists, passwords. Freed cognitive resources are immediately directed by the brain to analysis and forecasting. 2. Daily pattern training. Choose activities where experience logic matters. Strategic board games, family budget planning, analyzing historical or news events. Research shows exactly this type of cognitive load strengthens connections between frontal and parietal areas, supporting wise thinking style. 3. Old plus new principle. Learn something connected to an already familiar area. If you've loved gardening all your life, take an online landscape design course. Connection with the old scheme accelerates learning and minimizes stress from information processing. 4. 6-second rule. When you forget why you came to the kitchen, stop, take a calm breath, mentally return to the previous action, and wait 6 seconds. In most cases, the goal surfaces. You give the brain time to pull up the needed file from long-term storage. 5. 30 minutes movement plus sleep. Fresh data from University College London. In people 50-83, a half-hour daily walk improved working and episodic memory by 2 to 5% the next day, especially combined with 6 hours of continuous sleep. 3 myths about memory after 80. Myth 1. If I start forgetting names, it's early Alzheimer's. Absent-mindedness and pathological degradation are different phenomena. In normal aging, forgetting is compensated by stable orientation in familiar places and preserved personality. Myth 2. Learning is too late. The head isn't the same. Crystallized intelligence can grow until 90. The more connections between new and accumulated experience, the faster the learning. Myth 3. Slower means worse. Speed doesn't equal quality. The senior brain hesitates to check data for contradictions and pull up relevant experience. As a result, decisions are often more accurate. Mini self-test, focus 10. Before sleep, name aloud or write down 10 events of the day. If you gathered fewer than 7, tomorrow, reduce the flow of new information and add 30 minutes of walking. Let's check how the result changes. Working with resistance. Briefly, loved ones get irritated that you carry a notepad. Explain, external fact recording relieves tension and allows concentration on conversation. Inner critic whispers that notes are a sign of weakness. Remind yourself, smartphone or paper is just additional working memory, and your task now is strategic thinking, not storing details. Ahead is an explosion of authenticity. The moment when social roles stop dictating how to live and you begin choosing yourself. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Part 5. Explosion of authentic freedom. When the brain switched to wisdom mode, the 5th update launches personal freedom. At this stage, external roles finally lose power and inner truth comes to the forefront. You're no longer obligated to confirm status, career, children's expectations, or neighbors. All previous musts become can if I want. How new authenticity manifests opinions are expressed without regard for what people will think. Clothing and appearance become reflections of taste, not dress code. Daily schedule obeys your rhythms, not transport or TV news schedules. Home space is restructured for comfort, not guest impressions. Creativity and hobbies emerge from under the oppression of not serious for adults. This freedom doesn't make a person selfish, it removes masks so others see the real you. And this, according to National Institute on Aging surveys, improves family relationship quality for 78% of elderly participants. 5 practices to unlock authenticity. 1. Others' voices scan. For a week, note every thought beginning with must because it's proper. Then decide what of this is truly yours. 2. 1 courage per week rule. Every 7 days, do something that previously seemed inappropriate. Bright scarf, poem at club meetings, honest no to pushy advice. 3. Values declaration. Write 5 principles without which life loses meaning. For example, curiosity, generosity, order. Keep the list visible. It becomes a compass for any decisions. 4. Mini pleasure ritual. Daily allocate 20 minutes to action that pleases only you. Watercolor, tango, poetry reading. Pleasure requiring no approval strengthens confidence. 5. Name filter. Before agreeing to a request or project, ask, if a magazine cover said I do this, would I be proud? If not, boldly refuse. 3. Common misconceptions. Being yourself after 80 is too late. Too late is never. Cognitive reserve research shows personality flexibility persists until 90+ years. Honesty will hurt loved ones. Moderate directness increases trust rather than destroying it. It's important to speak about feelings, not blame. Freedom equals chaos. In practice, clear personal principles create more order than external rules. Mini self-test, mirror 2. Before sleep, ask 2 questions. What did I truly do for myself today, and where did I pretend? If the first occurs less than the second 3 days straight, add another item to the 1 courage per week rule. Transition to point 6, working with resistance. Liberation almost always causes pressure. Relatives may say, "You've changed." Inner critic, "You're selfish." In the 6th, final part, we'll figure out how to explain your new boundaries to loved ones and turn inner sabotage into an ally. Subscribe to not miss the finale. Part 6. Finale. Working with external and internal resistance. 5 updates are already activated. New sleep, new social circle, new time code, new thinking style, and new freedom. The hardest part remains, protecting these changes from external pressure and internal sabotage. The techniques below will help. External resistance, family, friends, well-meaning advisors. 1. 3W model. Why, what, when, why. I go to bed earlier because this is how my body now recovers. What? Therefore, I can't stay at family dinner until midnight. When? But I'll gladly have lunch with you Sunday at 1 p.m. Clear 3-phrase formula moves conversation from emotions to specifics. 2. Micro compromises. Propose equivalent exchanges. I'll skip the late movie, but send a review in the morning. Won't go to the country house all day, but will arrange a video call in the evening. 3. Common language of benefit. Explain advantage for everyone. If I don't overexert myself, next day I can calmly sit with grandchildren. Family accepts new reality faster when they see their own bonus. 4. Same rules. Note that every generation has limitations. Small children get daytime sleep, teenagers get screen limits. Your boundaries are just as normal. 2. Internal resistance, guilt, fear, selfish. Voice. 1. Recognize, recognize, return, neutralize. Recognize, catch the exact wording of the accusing voice, return. Ask whose phrase this is, your belief or someone else's condition from the past. Neutralize, replace with self-care, relationship care. 2. Permission slips, write short phrase. I have the right to go to bed at 9 p.m. Place visibly. This visual anchor reduces sabotage like a "don't forget keys" sticker by the door. 3. 5 to 5 perspective. Ask yourself, will this decision harm me in 5 days, 5 months, 5 years? Usually it becomes clear that refusing a late party or task overload won't destroy long-term relationships. 4. Experiment ladder. Start with a small, selfish step. Cancel one inconvenient meeting. Record the result. No catastrophe occurred. Gradually raise the level to a full week without others' scenarios. 3. How to overcome guilt for selfish decisions. Replace selfishness with airplane mask. Flight attendant gives instructions. Put on your mask first, or you can't save the child. Same with energy. Reflected benefit. Keep a list. When I go to bed early, I'm alert in the morning, can make breakfast. When I say no to excess requests, energy appears to call a friend. Proof by fact. Execute the new boundary once and show family the result. Cut short the trip, but manage to organize photo archive. Now everyone has copies. Gratitude ritual. At day's end, list 3 benefits loved ones received thanks to your careful routine. Guilt melts when you see the benefit is real. Mini self-test, resistance degree. Evening, rate on 5-point scale. External pressure, 0. No one interfered. 5. Demanded be like before. Internal pressure, 0. Calm. 5. Strong guilt. If both indicators, now 2 days straight, apply 3W model or permission slip the very next day. Summary of 6 updates. New sleep, early bedtime, morning peak. New connections, fewer but deeper. New time code, meaning priority over bustle. New brain, slower memorization but more accurate pattern recognition. New freedom, living by your values. New protection, communication technologies and internal filters preserving these changes. Accepting the 6 changes as natural evolution, not loss, you transform your 80s into life's most meaningful and peaceful chapter. If this series helped you view age differently, share the link with those who could benefit. Write in comments which step proved most useful and stay with us. Ahead are episodes about joint flexibility after 80, nutrition for clear mind, and how to record video messages for descendants. Thank you for going the whole way from first to 6th part. Your time and attention are the best motivation to continue.